what do you need improvement in?
Just want to go through and win.
What is the purpose of overthinking? You're taking care of your loved one. That's how you can increase your sales.
Hello, everybody. This is Ferris.
And this is Caleb Lenore, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Homecare Guyz.
Man, Caleb, what's up, brother? How's it going, man?
Man, you know what? It's a rainy day. I'm feeling good. I just had an amazing weekend, and so yeah, I'm ready to start this podcast. We have an exciting podcast today for our audience today, but and we're talking about. Let me tell you what we're talking about before we go in just a casual conversation. We're talking about why entrepreneurs should not be a perfectionist. And so that's going to be really great. But Ferris, tell me about your weekend or so.
Man, this weekend was actually amazing, brother. I got a chance to go through and actually do a little R&R. I think it's so important to go through and have some mental health breaks. So I got a chance to just did a road trip up to Chattanooga.
Well, I like road
just
trips.
A random road trip. I didn't have a hotel picked out or nothing. I didn't know where I was going to stay, where I was going to eat, nothing like that. So they went to Chattanooga for a couple of days, and then I went off to Nashville. Just got a chance to meet some amazing people. Got a chance to do a lot of things. Segway tour. Went to a soccer game. I
know you went to Lookout, the Lookout Mountain, right?
Lookout Mountain. Oh my gosh, that was so relaxing. Just got up there. Had a book and just walked up through the trails and walked through the caves. Just got a chance to sightsee. Got a chance to see the 7 states from the lookout position. It was amazing.
7 states.
7 different states from the position.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was amazing, brother. How was your weekend, man?
My weekend was amazing. Actually, I took a trip to DC.
Okay.
And so I was deciding between Chicago, because I never really been to Chicago besides like a layover.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about Chicago or because I wanted to get away, do some studying.
Yeah.
And so I went to DC because of my homegirl actually from college. Shout out to Dee. Dee. So Dee said, come to DC. And so I went to DC on Wednesday, spent a great time with her. And we just had a great time, great vibes. We went to this restaurant called Kitchen Cray.
Oh, wow.
Black-owned restaurant, amazing food. And it was just good vibes. The energy was amazing. Everybody just had a good time. They were dancing.
What type of food did they serve at Kitchen Cray?
So I had salmon. So, you know, I'm more like trying to eat on a healthy diet. But they serve chicken wings, you know, waffles, you know, drinks and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a great time. You know, and I saw the Pentagon.
Okay, yeah.
I saw the Pentagon. I did not know how close it was from the interstate.
Oh, yeah.
But the Pentagon, and I didn't get a chance to see the monument, so I have to go back to DC because I really want to.
You got to go and see the MLK monument.
I want to see the MLK as well as the Black History Monument, the Black History Museum.
Man, that's good. Brother, I got to give a shout out as well. I went to this restaurant called Little Mama's up in Chattanooga. You have to check it out. Mama's. I mean, like they have, I'm going to show you some pictures. They have, they do a hoagie sandwich and it's such a great vibe. Hoagies. And yeah, brother, the sub, and it was so delicious. I forgot, I think it was called The Crew. But this is what it they had this whole artistic theme, and it was just the coolest vibe. It was so hip hop. It was so 90s hip hop. And so the owner is from Chicago. Okay. And I think her and her spouse, they migrated down to Chattanooga. I mean, the food was delicious, brother. I mean, like it was crazy.
What kind of hoagie did you get?
It was like it was called The Crew, and I think it had like turkey, bacon, salami, and you had to unwrap it in a certain type of way. It had some special type of sauce there. The drink was amazing. The banana pudding was, oh my gosh! And shout out to the young lady at the counter. Her customer service was simply amazing. She shared with me her story on how she actually came down to Chattanooga as well. So shout out to Lil Mama. # What's her hashtag? She got like quite a few hashtags. Whatever her hashtag is, hashtag it. Because
and that was in Little Mama's in Chattanooga, right?
In Chattanooga, Tennessee.
So check out Little Mama's. Next time I go, I want to do. I need to eat there.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I saw one of your pictures on Facebook, Ferris. You actually were, you know, how you ride in one of those little robot cars or whatever.
A
like
Segway.
That's what you call it. A Segway, and then you would look like you were flying or something.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing, brother. It was amazing. So back in the military, we actually used to use Segways when we used to be in the law enforcement part. So that's my first time getting on a Segway in about 10 years, and it was so easy. It's like riding a bicycle.
Do you have to balance? Like you have to really balance?
No, it's self-balancing. It balances its own self. You just get on and you kind of maneuver back and forth with your weight and everything, kind of shifting forward. You got to do it. So I did a Segway tour downtown Chattanooga as well. It was like only like
a Segway tour,
$40 or something.
So they had tours that everybody can be on those things.
And you tour throughout the city. It was like only 3 or 4 of us on the tour.
Oh, that's neat.
We did like a 2-hour tour. Got to see the whole entire city, and it was just amazing, bro.
Without walking, you can't be
exactly
there.
without walking.
Robot taking over the world.
Come on, robot.
I love it. Well, let's dive into our conversation. let's dive into our conversation why entrepreneurs should not be a perfectionist. And I guess my definition, Ferris, of a perfectionist is someone that it has to be right all the time. So everything has to be perfect. And so we're talking about, the business plan has to be perfect. The funding has to be perfect. The marketing has to be perfect. Hiring the right people, everything has to be perfect. And so I think that in the world of entrepreneurs, Ferris, starting a business, everything is not going to be perfect.
Correct.
And so I think that a lot of people that start or try to start a business, they just feel like when things don't go right or when things don't go as if they can control it, things are wrong.
Correct.
So what's your take on, just perfectionist and being an entrepreneur?
I think when it comes to becoming a perfectionist or being a perfectionist, I think it really hinders growth of not only yourself, but also of your team as well. Right. Because I think as an entrepreneur, the only true way to learn something is to fail through it. You have to go out there and get your feet and your hands dirty. You have to go out there and mess up a few times to really go through and learn some of the lessons, because some lessons you can learn by going to school or reading books or getting mentorships. Other lessons you only can learn by getting your hands dirty. But I think one thing a lot of professionals, they try to do is prevent that. They want to walk around with white gloves, with velvet gloves on all the time to realize that, okay, everything has to be perfect. Right. In the world of entrepreneurship, as you know, things are not perfect like that.
Exactly. I can remember just how we started our business, especially in our home care business. Most people during that time when we started in 2007 were nurses. They were nurses that started healthcare companies. And so my brother Josh and I, we ended up starting this home care business without a college degree, with minimal experience. We didn't know anything about HR. And so we were far from perfect. But we had a drive and a zeal to help people as well as help our community. And so once we went on from there, I think that as time grew, we became to become more knowledgeable and become a little more expert in different areas. And but we are far from being a perfectionist. And so I want to just encourage entrepreneurs that are pretty much on the borderline or on the borderline of trying to start a business and really don't know where to start, or thinking that they have to know everything before they start a business to actually start. I want you to know that you don't have to do that. And so I also look at several other companies that pretty much, that are not like, they didn't start with everything. They didn't start with the total capital that they need. They didn't start with having an office space. They didn't start with all this stuff, and they just started. And so I would just encourage you guys just to go out there and do it. You have to just go out there, take the risk, do it. You're going to learn as you go. And I think that's ultimately the best way to learn.
And I think sometimes as we're on this entrepreneurial journey, I think seasons come and seasons go. I think as you go through and get started and you become masters or develop mastery when it comes to certain tasks, a lot of times what we do is like to hold on to that task. And we know that we can do this task right every time, all the time, on time, and the ball would never get dropped. And I think that's where perfectionism actually creeps in, because then the idea of only I can do this, or no one can do it quite like me, or if I want it done right, I've got to go through and do it. That actually creeps in, and that hinders the growth of the team, because now your team is unhappy because they're not able to go through and learn, because you as the owner, as the entrepreneur, we want to do everything because we know how to do it and we know it's going to be done right. And I think that one thing, as a perfectionist, especially as an entrepreneur, I think that hinders people from being attracted to be on a team with you, because they realize that though I'm on a team, I'm not actually participating in the team. Though I'm on the team as just a sheer number, what is my contribution? And if I cannot contribute to the team, I might as well just go somewhere else. So I think professionalism, it stifles teams' growth as well.
Wow. I think you just spit out so many gems right there, because it seems like that entrepreneur that is a perfectionist become more so of a self-employed entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because they want to do everything themselves. And because it has to be done right. It has to be done to their level of caliber. And so I think that right there is, by being a perfectionist, you are not allowing yourself to meet those people that can really assist your business to really grow it to another level.
Correct.
Wow.
And because people are naturally attracted to leaders, people are naturally attracted to teams that they can feel like they can contribute and help. Because no one wants to go through, most people do not want a handout. most people want to come in and show their value to the team. Most people want to, and that's how they grow as well. But as a perfectionist, sometimes you close the door. We close the door, and I can honestly say that I've been in those shoes where, and even sometimes I kind of dabble in and out. When I realize something that I do very well in, it's kind of hard for me to release that because I know when I get it done, it can be done right. But I'm at a phase right now where I realize that everything is not hinged on me doing it.
Yeah. And talk about one of those moments, Ferris, if you can, because, we've been in business for a long time. And I know that when we started the company, probably 3 years or 4 years after you came in, and we were pretty much so hands-on in our business. So we had roles that we know we used to do and worked on every day. So talk about, I guess one of those memories that you had in the business where you just could not let go.
Man, I remember like when it came to dealing with client interactions, let's say if the client was dissatisfied about something, I knew that I can go through and actually communicate with them, kind of bring the situation down, get to the core of the reason why they were dissatisfied and actually work the process to go through and make sure they're satisfied, remain a customer of ours, and continue to move forward. And I think that that's one thing where I took pride in is knowing that how to go through and resolve situations, because it became easy for me because I kept doing it over. And that's what perfectionism is once you do something over and over and over and over and over and over again,
that's how you become
really good at it.
Right.
So you can't help but be really good at it. So that's what happens. And then if you don't allow people to go through and actually do it over and over and over and over and over again, they would never be good at it. So I became very good at it. And
the first thing is just hearing you out is like, we are in that position so much that we don't give people the opportunity to even fail to try it. And then on the 10th or the 15th time, they may excel.
They may excel with it. Right. And that's one thing. It was hard for me to let that go because I was looking at, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose a customer, a client. I want to go through and make sure we have a brand reputation is up to par. Right. And so I was justifying my actions for protecting the company by not actually allowing people to grow. Ooh. And I think that right there, it hindered the growth. And what it did is it made me exhausted. Then I started looking around like, well, doggone it, like, why can't you do this? And why can't you do this? Why am I the only one that's doing this? Why everybody calling Ferris to fix the stuff? And I realized that Ferris put Ferris in that position. Now everyone, they said, you know what, since Ferris want to do it, give it to Ferris because he knows everything. And so that was one of the things that
I remember that Ferris back in the day, especially when we was on Columbia Road. Any kind of complaint, give it to Ferris. Ferris is going to handle it. And you used to write it down and call the people after work and after work hours just to kind of appease the situation. So yeah,
exactly.
You took the role and they gave it to you.
They gave it to me, and so that's one thing I realized, that as a perfectionist, sometimes we may complain and moan and like, oh my gosh, why is everything in our hands? Is because we put it in there,
right?
And you have to go through and let it go.
That's right.
And let it go.
That's right.
Hey, you. Are you taking care of a disabled loved one in your home? Hi, my name is Elmore Holman, and I'm a health coach with Prime Care Home Care. And for the last few years, we've been dedicating to helping families make lifelong memories with their disabled loved ones by getting them paid to do so. If you are interested and want to know more, please give me a call at 470-240-8795. I'll be waiting.
Yeah.
One story that I look at, or one person I look at about not being a perfectionist, starting off, is Gary Vaynerchuk. And so Gary Vaynerchuk is he started off with this. Ferris, you turned me onto this.
Yes.
It was the wine library. It was like a YouTube. He talked about wine because his family owned a liquor store, pretty much a liquor store, and he wanted to market the liquor store. And so he started this thing on YouTube. So if you do have time, go on YouTube, look up the wine library with Gary Vaynerchuk, and so his videos were so, like, I don't know, it was unprofessional to me. It was like it needed a lot of work based on what his videos and stuff now. And so, but he had great content. He talked about wine. He talked about, the taste. He showed his personality. And so I don't know what kind of camera he probably had. He didn't probably have all the technologies that we have today, but he started. And so he started off with it, and it grew and grew and grew into it become this household brand of Gary V. And so I just want you to know that, just because, if you have great content, don't wait on you getting this expensive $5,000 camera. Don't wait on you having time for a studio. Start filming now. Start getting your content out now, because it's going to be beneficial for you, especially it's going to be worth your customer and your audience. They're waiting on you to produce this content. And so don't be a perfectionist. Go ahead and start it. And so just like Gary Vaynerchuk, I look at him and he has just emerged into a very successful and a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur.
Exactly. And then just like you said, like the thing is about just getting started, because if we're looking for the perfect moment, the perfect equipment, the perfect timing, it'll never happen.
Never happen.
Even our simple phone that we have today is better than the most expensive phone, the most expensive camera that was out in 1970.
Better say it again.
In 1950, they could have had a camera worth $100,000. That would cost $100,000, but this right here would shoot 10 times better than that phone. So you have to realize it's not about the equipment; it's about going through and taking imperfect actions to go through and actually grow. So I think one thing that we could take away from this conversation is perfectionism only limits your potential. It limits your growth. It limits your opportunity to get started. It limits your opportunity to go through and impact the world. It limits your opportunity to be creative, because you're sitting at home, because you're on your phone, you're Googling all day, you're YouTubing all day, trying to research, but never getting started. So one thing I would just encourage entrepreneurs on this journey is to just throw away that flag of perfectionism, because you could do it all, because you're the best of the best of the best of the best. Throw that away and start developing a team and start developing yourself into a leader who can lead others, who can go. I'm going to say this for closing. 80% is better than, I would rather have a team that's giving me 80% of their best efforts than just me giving 100% of mine. If I have 5 people that give me 80%, it compares to my 100%, I'll take that every day, all day.
Okay.
And so that's one thing is I would encourage entrepreneurs, instead of trying to just you be the 100% of everything, get some other 80% around you, get some other 90% around you, get some people that's going to go through and actually alleviate that stress so that you can step away from being that perfectionist and say, okay, well, hey, now I'm developing a team. Now I'm a true entrepreneur.
I love it. I think we need to wrap it up on that, man. I think that's even though this was a quickie, but it was just great. This is just a good conversation. This is a conversation to motivate entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs, or even seasoned entrepreneurs that are like still trying to figure it out, but are in the situation where, do I start now, or do I hold it off and put it off for another week or another year or another 6 months? I don't have the funds right now. I want you to know that, guess what? Everything is not going to be perfect. Life is not perfect.
Yes.
So go ahead and start. You don't have to be a perfectionist. And I think about the analysis of paralysis. So many people get paralyzed because they overanalyze the situation. And so I have never been a person like that, Ferris. I think I have been a person that always jumped on things. And I could say truly, it seems like, just like Candy, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but Candy Burris from the Housewives show, it seems like everything that she touches turns to gold. And I can truly say, especially everything that I put my mind to, I achieve. Everything I put my mind to, because I don't overanalyze. If it's something that's a hurdle that comes my way, I will figure it out and I will just make an adjustment. And so I want you to know that it's going to be a lot of adjustments, especially in this journey called entrepreneurship. You're going to have moments that you're high. You're going to have moments that you're low. You're going to have moments that you're like, okay, I'm not moving. Nothing's working. Everything is the same. But you stay focused. Make those adjustments. Realize that everything is not going to be perfect. And once you get that in your mindset, you're going to be successful.
That's it. Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, this has just been another episode. I hope it encouraged you along the way, especially along your entrepreneurial journey as well. And if you got any value from this content today, I want you to go through and actually like and subscribe to our channel. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, iTunes, podcasts, everywhere. Anywhere you can go through and stream podcasts, we're there. Go through and definitely like us on Facebook, the Homecare Guyz with a Z. Also on Instagram, TikTok. We can get a chance to go through and learn some things on TikTok. Yeah. And just continue to tune in each Tuesday and Thursday for new content as well.
Exactly. So there you have it. Another great episode with Conversation with the Homecare Guyz. Stay safe.
Stay safe.